One of the most highly customized, easily recognizable and renowned superyachts ever built, Sea Owl is sophisticated and fascinating, playful and grand, designed for a highly experienced yacht owner who knew what he wanted, and by one of the world's greatest shipyards, Feadship. In this video we'll be showing you features that have never been seen before, from the intricately carved staircase that passes through her decks to the playful treasure chests in her children's cabins, marine mollusks and fossils in furniture, artwork in abundance, and technical areas that will make engineers drool. This is not the first time that I've visited Sea Owl. I was on board once before in Palm Beach, and I remember two things struck me. The first was that I thought I would love to do a walkthrough video of this yacht. But the second was, if I ever got the opportunity, where would I start? Well, we're going to start here on the sun deck, and we're going to work our way progressively down through all of the decks, showing you first of all the guest spaces, and then showing you the crew areas and the technical spaces. So this really is a thorough walkthrough video of one of the most awe-inspiring yachts I have ever visited. The layout of the sun deck provides for an aft terrace area that, at the time of filming, was storing the rescue tender. You can see the crane neatly integrated into the superstructure for launching and retrieving. With guests on board, this can be removed, leaving plenty of space to relax and observe the scenery. The large cabinet that you can see there is actually a cleverly designed barbecue unit. The teak deck continues inside the yacht into this magnificent inside-outside dining area. The sun's rays can flood in through the large sunlight, and the side windows slide open too, allowing the fresh air in. Although on the day we were filming, the wind was so strong, we were glad to keep them closed. A credenza has been crafted to contain everything necessary for fine dining, and a foot-controlled hidden service door makes access for the crew both simple and efficient. Moving forward, and we find a large lobby with an elevator that passes through the 4 guest decks. In general, the crew spaces seem to be positioned on the port side of the yacht, and we'll look at them later. But here we catch our first glimpse of that incredible staircase. And to the forward end of the sun deck, just before the forward door, is a dayhead with a beautiful sink, mosaics and this wonderful mirror. And then through the door to a magnificent sunbathing area that can be covered or uncovered, featuring this deep and inviting hot tub. On this deck we find ourselves in the highest branches of the staircase tree. I sat here writing some notes, and the more I looked, the more details I saw. The swooping owl takes pride of place, of course, but then you see birds feeding, squirrels leaping, butterflies and insects, caterpillars, and even a couple of sleeping bats hanging from the limbs. All of this before you even get to the bridge deck, and this is really quite something. We're going to start aft and work our way progressively forward, because here there are some surprising features that I think you will really love. The aft deck accommodates what I would call a more sophisticated dining area than the less formal one above. Circular sun pads enveloped by what appear to be fossil-topped tables, and A magnificent circular dining table with maritime marquetry positioned under a magnificent ceiling feature. Mosaic-clad cabinets either side contain everything you need for refreshments to be speedily served. I can just imagine what a wonderful place this must be at night when lit up. A central chess set invites guests to put their intellect and strategy to the test. A roulette wheel for the more adventurous. Possibly the most beautiful desk I have ever seen is here if you need to stay connected with your office. And an elegantly concealed television is at your disposal to stay connected with whatever sport or TV series you enjoy watching. Moving forward, we pass the elevator once again and a lobby area. The shelves in the lobby are very beautiful, but they also hide a rather useful feature, an exquisitely appointed dayhead. From here we move on to a central corridor with a small and functional office area to starboard. And just look at this to port. Not only is there a very beautiful gymnasium, but also a marvellous massage room. This is something that every superyacht should be equipped with, surely. The gym has a dedicated bathroom and shower, and both the office and the gym benefit from side doors leading out onto a fold-down terrace. This is the kind of thing that really does make you dream of owning a yacht, starting the day with a workout, a shower and a massage, and then taking the views with a fruit smoothie on the terrace. Back to the staircase though, where a lion slumbers with her cubs. Bees swarm around a waking bat, a ladybird slowly crawls towards an unlocking owl, squirrels frolic in the branches. And this owl looks like it's swooping down on a prey that presumably we'll find on the next flight of stairs. But first let's take a look at the main deck. And again we'll start aft, work our way forward so that you can appreciate some of these amazing features. The aft deck is a fairly traditional layout, but there's nothing traditional about the execution. Fluted wooden pillars flank a remarkable dining table topped with this gorgeous green malachite stone. The same finishing is used on these cabinets that are here to ensure that a chilled beverage is never far away. Through the sliding doors though, we discover a whole new world. Somehow a cosy seating area has been created around a faux fireplace in the most magnificent of settings. Rare and prestigious materials marry to form stunningly beautiful objects of functional art that enhance the feeling that you really are relaxing on a very special yacht indeed. Relaxing, maybe listening to live music from the grand piano that fits perfectly into the ambience of this room. But I really wanted to draw your attention to this remarkable feature here. Clearly there's a Venetian theme to this fantastic piece of art. You can tell that from the gondola, behind which, by the way, there's storage, but also from presumably the Murano glass light fitting, all of the rest of the glass, the mask here. But I had to ask myself, what do these horses have to do with Venice? Well, it didn't take me long to do some research and find out that these are what's known as the Cavalli di San Marco. You probably know that the Piazza di San Marco is a big and beautiful square in the city of Venice. Well, originally in that square, there were copper horses exactly like these. History says they may be as old as 2,500 years. Napoleon at one point stole them and took them to Paris, but then they were returned back to Venice about 100 years afterwards. Horses are in fact very much a theme of this deck. You can see them in the wooden cabinetry all around. but see how many other times you can spot them as we look around this deck. Forward of the main salon is a spacious lobby area where once again the elevator is located, and once again the crew spaces appear to be located to port. Walking past that epic staircase though, we find an elegant dayhead, and then we enter the owner's suite. Having said that the desk on the bridge deck was possibly the most beautiful I have seen, I would have to say that actually this one must be. Certainly the view from the desk is a perfect setting for conducting business in, surrounded by sumptuous high-gloss cabinetry and under the well-lit Mappo Mundo incorporated into the ceiling. And if you need to use the bathroom while you are here, a concealed dayhead is easily accessible. From here, there is easy access to the owner's stateroom itself, and this is one of those moments when the best way I can let you appreciate its beauty is by saying nothing and letting the pictures do the talking for me. But what was that owl swooping down on? Back to the staircase tree to find out, and here there is an abundance of life. In fact, the crew and others who've seen the yacht often call this the Tree of Life. Suitably enough, the main deck represents the ground floor of the tree, and I can't help suspecting that it's this little fellow here that the owl has his eyes upon. But it doesn't end there as we descend below the Earth's surface and into the roots of the tree, finding rabbits in their warren, subterranean insects, and what appears to be a rattlesnake. Deeper and deeper, we find a shrew asleep with its offspring, and all kinds of mysterious objects hidden deep within the ground. And this seems like a suitable time to tell you that all of that tree is what's called relief art. It was hand carved from blocks of wood, and it took years to create. I mentioned earlier that the yacht was built for somebody who knew what they wanted, but in my opinion, it was also somebody who knew how to have fun when you're designing your own yacht. And as I show you around the cabins below deck, you'll see that this yacht must be a lot of fun to be on. As we follow the tree's roots along the wooden floor heading aft, we find a double stateroom to port with an Alice in Wonderland theme. A faux bookshelf conceals a television. A beauty cabinet flanks the bed. And a bathroom with marble the colour of the sea itself invites you to soak in a tub, enjoying the ocean views. Books are very much a theme of this deck, with the two aft cabins hidden behind beautifully crafted apparent bookshelves. To starboard is a fresh and bright double stateroom with a playing card theme and all of the great features of the other cabin. Further forward, and again to port, we have two pirate-themed children's cabins, although I have to say I would be more than happy to sleep in either one of these myself. I particularly liked the treasure chests that convert to a desk so that kids can still do their homework in truly inspiring surroundings. Needless to say, both of these cabins have their own ensuite bathrooms. The circular lobby area further forward appears to be a bright and cheerful birdcage, and another double stateroom is to starboard of this. As with other staterooms, the ensuite offers both a tub and a shower, rare on yachts even of this size. And finally, further forward still, is a single cabin embedded behind a castle-like door and deep within the roots of the tree. When the yacht is chartered, this is a perfect spot to use as a staff cabin.
You may have noticed that there are other doors in that corridor that we haven't opened. That's because behind them there are electrical panels, cleaning equipment, a vacuum cleaner. Behind this door, quite simply, there's a handle, and that's a manual override for the watertight doors in case they close and you need to open them again. Here we have the elevator, but behind this door is an area that I know that many of you are fascinated to see, because behind here are the crew spaces.
Here the chief engineer's cabin is not only very conveniently located close to the engine room, but together with the staff cabin it acts as an effective sound buffer between the engine room and the guest areas. The engineer has a control room from which he can survey the engine room and the yacht's parameters. I have to say that the engine room is an absolute tribute to him and to the rest of the crew. The expression "you could eat off the floor" comes to mind. Usually when you enter an engine room you expect to immediately see the engines. On this vessel though, you're faced with the large stainless steel exhausts, whilst the engines themselves are positioned lower down in the tank deck. These are two MTU 4000 series units with a combined horsepower of just over 4,000. For the record, they can power Sea Owl up to a top speed of 16 knots. The chief engineer tells me that a comfortable cruising speed of 12 knots will give you a 5,000 nautical mile range. A little slower still, and of course the range can be even greater. Usually you will find the generators on a yacht in their own soundproof boxes, but on Sea Owl there is an entire soundproofed generator room with 3 units of 308 kilowatts each. Each one of these can cope with the entire hotel load, and they will automatically synchronise in the event that more power is needed. For example, if the captain needs to use the electric bow thruster. Forward of the engine room and we enter the crew quarters. To starboard is the crew mess and a small galley, although when we had our lunch during filming, the food was served from the main galley. We sat along with most of the crew with plenty of space for everybody. Exit the crew mess and there is a central corridor with most of the crew cabins off. There are 4 cabins down here for 8 crew. Further forward still, and a short flight of stairs leads to the tender bay. Every area of this yacht has impressed me with the level of cleanliness and order. Sea Owl has 2 custom-built tenders kept here, one limo tender and another open with a hardtop. Both can be launched through side shell doors in the hull. Back down the corridor and up another flight of steps and we find the galley, the source of the amazing lunch that we enjoyed earlier. This is incredibly well equipped with 6 induction hobs, a built-in flat top, 2 Gaggenau convection ovens, a steam oven, Paco jets for making ice cream, a central island, a heating pass to keep food warm during service, to mention just a few of the features. It's easily big enough for 2 people to work here without getting under each other's feet. And when I spoke to the chef, it was clear that he loves his job. A door leads through from the galley to a butler's pantry that's ideal for preparing for service. And from there, more steps lead up to the bridge deck, where there is another butler's pantry, and of course where the bridge is located. This is a very functional area with plenty of spots for guests or crew to sit down and chat with the captain, and also plenty of clever little work surfaces that I found very useful indeed when taking notes for the video. To port is a radio room, and moving aft and to starboard is the captain's cabin.
And if you thought that there were no more crew spaces left to show you, you were wrong, because there's this butler's pantry on the sun deck, so that every deck that has a dining table also has an area for the food to be served from. There is one part of Sea Owl that I haven't shown you yet though, and that's the beach club. And now the quickest way for me to get there from here is actually by means of a clever transition. It has been an extremely windy day here in St Martin. Not that long ago I was watching a yacht quite a lot bigger than this one, rocking and rolling in the turbulent sea, whilst Sea Owl was as solid as a rock. She is super stable, and the beach club is a fantastic place, even in less than ideal conditions such as this today, to be able to sit and enjoy your surroundings and see what's going on around you. We actually arrived by tender and boarded the yacht from here. Behind me, as you can see, there's a ladder for easy access if you want to go for a swim. Not likely on a day like today. Through this door we have access to a day head with a shower in it as well. We've actually been extremely privileged to be able to show you Sea Owl. Not that long ago it just wouldn't have been possible, but now she's come on the market and she's available for sale. So we've been able to do a complete and a thorough walkthrough video. With that in mind, I can do no better than concluding this video by putting on screen the contact details of the yacht broker representing her.